What's going on, Bruce Leeroy? Alex Caceres.
Oh, doing good. How you guys are doing?
Good. Just to introduce myself real quick, I'm CEO Geek, or you can call me Mason. That's Front Kick Fish, or Jake. We are the Guillotine Geeks. We're so excited to have you on. Thrilled, man. Thanks for coming on, man.
Oh, thank you for having me. How's it going?
Everything's good, man. Just tuning in live. We heard that you had the new gym open up, so that's exciting. What's that all about?
Oh, well, just yeah, me and my training partner and coach as well, Enrico Coco, just decided to open up a gym together. You know, just needed a place to train and might as well train with friends.
Yeah, I was gonna. How is it coming back home to Miami, opening up a gym, being back home with family and friends?
Uh, it's good. Definitely good. You know, definitely it's nice to have your own gym and working out, working on the things you know you need to work on and training like that. Definitely makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming on today. You told us you had sparring earlier today. How'd that go? How was sparring?
It went well. We got some good rounds in, you know, some tough rounds.
You look good. You look good though for tough rounds. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
question for you. Everyone talks about your garden. So is that like you have like a whole like backyard? Is that like a whole jungle back there filled with magical fruits and stuff?
Well, right now, I don't have it's in my Arizona house. I had a big backyard, but then down here, I'm living in one of these townhouses, so the backyard is not too big. I have a garden that I'm trying to start up in the back there. It got kind of overgrown. I got lots of trees back there though, so I am working on it. But yeah, it's something that I usually like to do on my free time if I have enough free time.
Yeah. Juice out of them things. I saw you were going the juicer. You were squeezing juice in that live the other day. That's kind of where I jumped in. That stuff, how is that, man? Is that like a pleasurable experience sucking that juice down, or is that like a thing that you like?
No, the juices taste good, especially if you mix like a little bit of fruit with them. If you put some oranges and apples, you know, like it doesn't. I mean, I personally like carrot juice or celery juice by itself as well. So to me, I like vegetable juice, man. I was one of the kids that loved to drink like V8s and stuff, and you know,
Oh,
berry mixes, you know, and just, it's like just drinking soup, I guess. But other than that, no, it's good. It's pleasurable. Yeah, it definitely feels good. You definitely feel the nutrients you get from the juices. Get a little bit more hyped. You know, definitely kickstarts the day. It's a
yeah.
good way.
Yeah, I was gonna ask more on the nutrition side. When did you really get into earlier in your career versus now? What improvements have you seen with nutrition and just watching what you put in your body, and just how important is that to you?
Well, I mean, it's always been important to me, and the more I grow, the more knowledgeable I get about nutrition and what I'm putting into my body. So it's the way you got to look at it with everything you do. You know, your body is sure it's a material thing. You know, if you want to believe in that, you're not attached to the body necessarily. You're not the body, but it is your vehicle for the time being. So just like a car, you know, you'll put maintenance into it regularly to keep it up and to keep it running smoothly, so it can carry you to point A to point B smoothly. You know, without breaking down or messing up or putting you in danger. So the same thing with your body. It's a vehicle for your spiritual function. So the better you keep it up and maintain it, the more smooth your ride through life is going to be. Even though you know you're not going to keep the body at the end of life, it doesn't matter. You know, during your life, you want a comfortable and smooth ride and something that can actually propel you into doing things that you love to do, which might cost for like more energy or more dynamic motions. So having a healthy and fit body is necessary, I feel like, in this life. So having knowledge on how to maintain and keep a healthy body is necessary as well.
Yeah, no, going right off of that, because I was just watching a lot of stuff, a lot of reviews of you in the past, and I saw that you made the same reference to the car when someone brought up revolutionary vitality, I think it is, and vitality. So I think that's super like a experience that could be like a big part of what you do in the future. Like, I feel like you're just a couple fights away from having a massive brand. You already started your own gym, and then I heard that it was your wife's, you know,
Yeah.
way of therapy and resurgence to fighters. So like I feel like it all comes together, and you know, a couple fights you could have like one of these like big mega gyms, like you see what Henry Cejudo's doing. He just started that out of nowhere. All you need is a big name, like you have already the knowledge, and it sounds like you've already got all the assets around it. I feel like you have a huge thing on the way.
Yeah, I think it's really cool how well-rounded you are on the just on the whole life side without take fighting out of it. Everything else, keeping a balance in life. I just think you're really cool with that.
Well, I mean, it's a part of, I mean, whatever you do, whether it's fighting or whatever it may be, it's going to be a part of your life, you know? So if you can't seamlessly integrate it into a part of your life and comfortably do it at the same level that you carry your life with, then you're going to have discrepancies. You're going to have dichotomies in your head. You know, you're going to be going one direction and the other. So for me, I'm ready to fight, whether I'm walking down the street or hanging out at a bar or getting signed to a fight deal. It doesn't matter. That's the way I want to be, always ready. That's why I train all year round, because martial arts to me is a part of life. It's not something I do with my life or something I do with a part of my life. It's a part of my life. So every motion and every aspect that I do, and sometimes like you can ask like if you ask anybody, like my wife, especially if I'm sweeping or if I'm cooking, you know, I like to play around and like, you know, like do like martial art moves while I'm doing stuff like that, and just, you know, kind of run through the motion, because it is a very big part of my life. And I always want to be able to be active. Like I tell people a lot, I never want to forget how to climb a tree or be able to jump up or jump over things and catch myself before falling. Like I want to be able to, I guess in a weird way, remain a kid in a sense.
Yeah. So another thing is like people keep asking you, like you just got the ranking next to your name, like, oh, who are you gonna fight next? Like, oh, you want to jump up in the rankings, and like I'm sure that question gets so frustrating. But I feel like the answer for a guy like you is you're not looking for like to move up and that kind of stuff. You're more of looking just for that next challenge, and like that's what's so entertaining to me about you, and that's what I think that's what brings fans to you the most is like this guy's so like genuine in his craft. So like I feel like you're not looking to push the numbers. You're literally looking for the next challenge. And if the next challenge happens to be a guy with a higher number, then that just happens to be what's going to go down. Is that kind of the case?
Well, definitely. It does. It definitely does matter. You know, that if I feel like I'm winning, yeah, I want I want a higher ranked opponent. You know, not necessarily because of the numbers, but like I know they're going to be better. They get better. They get more dangerous. They get more, you know, versatile when you move up the ranks. And not only that, when you're winning, you know, it's better for you, you know, just in general on the business aspect and the social aspect of your career. And that is something that I differentiate very well. But I do know that there is an importance in the social aspect and of my career as well. So yeah, I do want to move up in ranks. But yeah, like you said, for me, the reason why I fight is not for moving up in ranks or for numbers or anything like that. I just like doing it. And it's really, I try to care about it like in that way, like in a sport way or in an advancement level or in a career way. I try to make up, you know, reasons behind it, but really there is no reason. Like a hurricane comes through your town, you know, for no fucking reason. That's the same thing. Like there is no reason. I just want to storm a little bit sometimes, and you know, and then other times I want to relax, you know. So as ever changing as the wind, but that's the reason why there is no reason.
Wow. Yeah. No, I mean, another aspect that I wanted to get into. I mean, yeah, always blowing minds, Bruce Leeroy. But the thing I wanted to get into is for a guy that's thinking about meditating, you know, it's kind of like a thing that he hears and he's like, oh, you know, maybe it's good for me, whatever. What kind of advice would you give to a person that wants to get into meditating, and like how should they do it? Because I've heard your perspectives on it, and like this is how you should meditate, and like other ways are kind of, you know, useless. So like what kind of advice do you have?
I feel like anybody can meditate however they can meditate. But the thing is, we have to understand what the word meditation means. You know, people think like, oh, I'm trying to clear my mind completely. Well, you're not meditating on anything. To meditate is to think on something, to concentrate on something, to dive into something, to single mind yourself into one thing so that you can, how would you say, see everything in that one thing. And then you can apply that one thing to everything at the same time. So like, that's why yogis they say, concentrate just on your breath, just concentrate on your breath. And when you just focus on the breath, you can see how the breath is everything and how everything has breath or needs breath in that sense. And then you can meditate on anything that is like, you can meditate on a fight or you can meditate on a technique, but is when you quiet your mind from everything else and undistracted from all the other thoughts that are raging through your head, and you concentrate and meditate onto one thing, you fall towards that destination with no obstruction. And I think that will be, for me at least, that's the most successful way for me to meditate.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I had a question. For mental toughness, how important is it to you to just just have an open mind to everything and just go into everything with a calm mind, and how do you really take advantage of that?
Well, like, man, for the most part, when I'm in crisis situations, especially like fights, I enjoy them. Don't get me wrong, but they're very high tense and anxious situations. Like they produce a lot of anxiety. So one thing is just coming to terms with it. Like, okay, I chose to do this. I do love it, but I have to accept that I'm gonna get hit. I might get hurt. This is dangerous, and I gotta enjoy it as much as I can possible, because there's no point in stressing it if I love it, because you gotta think about it, man. The fact that you're feeling that way, anxious, scared, and you're fighting for your life sometimes in certain situations, the fact that you're able to do that means you're alive. So really put everything you can and enjoy that very moment, because it could be your last one. So at that moment, it's impossible for you not to do anything with a smile on your face, especially when it gets really, really, really tough. You got to smile at it, because, it could be your last moments of life. So therefore, enjoy the rest of the moments you have, and then perform the best way. If you're going to go out shining in that sense. So I feel like with that thought process or that level of acceptance, you can really perform more freely in whatever that you do.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Still mind-blowing. Bruce Leeroy, always mind-blowing. So we have a question that came in from a friend of mine that he really wanted me to ask you. He's a big Bruce Leeroy fan. He couldn't make it. Fellow geek. He's an anime fan. He wants to know who your favorite Naruto character is and arc. I'm not a big anime guy, so I don't really know if I'm saying this right, but he wants to know your favorite character and your favorite arc.
I don't know what the arc means. I think they're talking about like the peak of the show, maybe.
Maybe.
I'm not sure, but I can tell that I guess the Naruto character. I think like it's a hard choice just because they don't show a lot on him. But between I guess Kakashi Sensei and Minato, who's Naruto's father as well. But we don't get to dive into their personalities so much. But I mean, if I were to pick, those guys were pretty cool.
Okay, for sure. And another thing I wanted to ask you is, you talk about pranks on Tough. What kind of pranks go down in the house with a bunch of fighters? Like, does it get serious? Does it get tense, or do guys like take jokes, or like, I don't know how much the camera plays into it. I really want to know.
I guess some people got tense. For the most part, the pranks were harmless, but there was one time where one of the guys, I forgot, I don't know who, like put mayonnaise in my shoes, like filled up my shoes with mayonnaise.
No.
I had to get new shoes and shit. So I got kind of mad, and I snuck into the laundry room at night and like mixed in bleach with their laundry detergent. So they had like their jersey were all fucked up.
Did you ever find out who was it exactly?
No.
Oh, brutal.
So
CJ
got the whole yellow team. Just got the whole team.
savage Leroy moment right there. Let's go.
I was gonna ask, how was being with GSP? He's a goat. I mean, just being on the show is such a cool experience. But what things did you learn from the show that just carried on through life?
I mean, just being on the show with GSP, and then also training with him afterwards in TriStar.
Mm-hmm.
It just honestly, like I felt like that was like a big turning point in my career, where I was seeing somebody and how a professional, or even how a champion that's a professional, carries himself.
Yeah.
Career. So it definitely helped me mature in the career aspect of fighting, and not just going into fights and just taking whatever fight and doing that kind of stuff. I mean, I still held that bit of personality in me, where I do take, whatever fight you're throwing at me, but at the same time, I am a little bit more conscious of my career and my career goals and moves that I make as well. Yep. So I'm like, find myself wanting.
Yeah. So another thing branching right off of that is, how does a young, innocent boy like Alex Caceres growing up, I don't know if you were innocent, but just the sense of the story right now, how do you get into street fighting?
I was fighting all the time. I was always fighting in school. I can't say I was like 100% innocent, but like I just wouldn't deny fights. Like if I found an opportunity to fight, if somebody wanted to bother me, what I'm saying? Like it was just, I feel like it's easier. It was easier back then because I was always a small guy. So like if I fight them now, maybe they think twice before trying that again. But it's better than just getting bullied every day, or day after day, or having the same person do the same shit the next day. No, just fight him then, and at least he has to think about it next time.
So
Yeah.
what is, you had a school fight, and then one day you were leaving school and like a car pulls up and they're like, you want to join like the Street Fighter
Oh
Club?
no, I was training I was already training at like different gyms and stuff. I forgot where it was. I believe it was Young Tigers Foundation with El Tigre back in the day, and that's where I met Level Martinez, and then he's the one who introduced me to the street fights that he was doing, and then we got together and then we started fighting. Um, yeah, other opponents out there in the street and making bets and whatnot.
You make any money doing that kind of stuff, or was that all just like a little
Yeah,
bit of?
like 300 per fight. So like in those backyard arenas, but sometimes I would have like catch fights, like some guy, like it happened after I started doing like the backyard fights. Like some people in school would be like, oh, I'm a fighter too, man. I challenge you. And like they would like come up to you and challenge you and shit. Like, all right, let's put some money down. And
Yeah.
wins, I guess. And then, we just put the money down, have somebody hold it, and then we'll fight. And then, just take the money, whoever wins and stuff like that. And then depending on that.
I feel like I imagine you would just always just like let them come at you like crazy, take their back, choke them out, and then take their money, walk away, like clean of any
Oh no,
damage.
actually, for the most part, like the backyard fights were the fights that were like that had everything going for the most part. Like sometimes when I have those pickup fights, like I guess discretionary rules, like okay, like I'll fight you, for this amount of money, but it will just be stand up, like no grappling. And then sometimes I would agree, sometimes I won't. But for the most part, I said, yeah, sure, why not? Some like I've done just straight boxing matches and kickboxing matches, and sometimes just grappling matches. Like some people just wanted to fight any which way they knew how.
Yeah, coming off a grappling match. Yeah, how was that? How's the difference between the grappling and the UFC? That was a crazy transition, huh?
Um, it's fun. I don't see it as anything. It's like training for me. I don't. There's no danger, especially like in the Fury competition. They said, okay, no ankle locks or heel hooks. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna go out there and just wrestle as hard as I can and grapple as much as I can. And sometimes it ends fast, sometimes it takes forever. But really, there's no pressure on that, and it's fun though.
Yeah. It was just a huge card, though. I mean, that Fury card was stacked with names, right? And I feel like that was just like a great place to be. Like, like they send you that contract and you look at the card and you're like, wow, yeah, hell yeah.
It was it was a lot of people. Clay Guida was out. Guida, sorry,
Yeah.
he was out there. Chase Hooper was out there. A whole bunch of names out there. What was it Holland? I think
Yeah.
Holland was out there. He did some crazy like flip up in the air and
He's trying. He's trying. He keeps getting taken down in that division. He dropped weight classes. He's going to grappling things. He's at least showing that he's trying.
no, but it's good experience, and it keeps you active. I mean, and I'm glad they have stuff like that because I like doing martial arts, whether it be grappling or anything. Of course, I would like to mix it all together as much as possible, but so any opportunity that I get, it's and especially if they pay you for it too, like it's just a good way to keep fighters and people that love doing this sport more into it and more active as well.
Yeah, 100%. And another thing, we got to slide down to Hidden Lotus. The Hidden Lotus, we got to come see you in person, get a little in-person interview. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, it'll be great. It'll be great. Where you guys are in Florida?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're in Florida, Miami based.
Okay. True that. Well, I think it's on 88 and 124th Avenue.
Yeah,
So
man.
it's off of Kendall Drive, and it's right behind the Barnes and Nobles, above the Roots Juice Bar.
Oh, wow. So everyone in the chat keeps saying Sadiq Yusuf. What's up with that? Is that like a guy that's set something?
Yeah, I think I'm fighting him March 12th.
March 12th, Sadiq Yusuf. So that's the next victim on the list. Let's go. So it happens to be a guy that's ahead of you in the rankings. So Coinkadink. He's probably a good challenge though. So
Oh yeah, he's a good fighter there.
are you guys chirping each other? Are you guys like talking to each other on social medias and stuff? I feel like I saw him join your live or something. Or was that
I didn't talk to him. I just said hi because I saw him join my live when I went live, and I was like, I think I was like cooking something or making something.
Yeah, he's like joining your lives. That's pretty cool. You have a fan that you're about to fight a fan.
Yeah, or he's trying to see what I'm doing for training.
Yeah.
That little snake in the grass, huh?
Nah, it doesn't matter. I mean, everybody watches tape. There's nothing to hide there.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Well, I really appreciate you coming on, man. This was seriously awesome for us. This was a great experience. Hope you didn't mind being on here with us. Anything you want to say before we sign off? Any last words? Any shout outs?
Nothing too crazy. Nothing. Just thank you for having me on, and it's been great talking with you guys.
Awesome, man. Thanks for coming on. That's Front Kick Fish. Front Kick, you got anything?
No, just thanks for coming, and hopefully we'll see you soon in person and come down to the Hidden Lotus and see what it's about.
No, for sure. That'll be great.
Big future. I feel like that's going to blow up into oblivion, man. Like that next best gym in Miami, potentially, for the Zen people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Coco's portion of it is called Zen Jiu-Jitsu.
Yep.
So the Jiu-Jitsu classes, so should be pretty Zen out there.
Yeah. Keep it Zen. All right. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for coming on, Alex. CEO Geek, Front Kick Fitch, Bruce Leeroy. We out. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.